Hi everybody, Perry here, and I am No One You Know for StoryToPixel.com. Okay, we're going to take the Illustrator file, Illustrator 8 file, and bring it into a Cinema 4D project and extrude it. So we need to go up here, got a new project open, go up to Merge, and I'm going to find that 8, open it up, and just leave everything stock. Okay. And then what we're going to do is, it's nowhere to be found. It's somewhere over here. So what I'm just going to do real quick and dirty is, actually, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, that'll be fine. And so then I need to go into the coordinates and let's see, 90, what that looks like. Nope, because I want this on the front. So it's going to be negative 90 here. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my app and look at the living room and get the dimensions on that. So the dimensions for the living room were actually if you press it and adjust wall length, 6.39 centimeters by 3.67. So I'm going to create a cube 6.39 by 367. So cube, let's make it 639 centimeters. So that's 6.39 meters by, I think it was 367. Let's check it again. 367. So 367 centimeters. Actually, that should be 367. There. And what I'm going to do now is let's just take the Y and bring it down to 1. All right, so I'm going to go into my top view and I'm going to take this cube and I know what the size is and I'm going to center that. So that is the dimensions of my living room from there to there and from here to here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to hit T and I'm going to highlight the spline. And I'm just going to scale the spline. And I'm just going to take my pointer, put it off to the side so that it's very even. And just look at this. I may have to adjust by going back to hitting E so that I can move this and try to center it up as best as possible. And let's see here. Okay, so it looks like I need to move it over a little bit. So I can grab handles here. And let's see here. It's not going to work, but back to T. Okay, I'm looking at the blinking of both the right and the left side. When I hit both of them blink on and off, I know right there that I've got it. Now I'm just going to worry about this because this is the most accurate that I know right here. If we take this and move it and try to match up, it's pretty close. So I'd say we're good right there. So now we have the scale of the spline matching the scale of the room itself. And you want to build VR in human scale. So 1 meter in real world equals 1 meter in Cinema 4D. And in this case, the way everything transfers out of, even though it has the scale and everything in the app, when it transfers over to Illustrator, it's not exactly accurate. So I do this just to set everything up. All right. So don't need this anymore. And then we can go from there. All right, and then I am going to do it this way. Stick it underneath here, extrude it, and turn off the caps. And then on the object, 0, Z, and then bring the y-axis up. Just like that. Okay, the height of the doors in this building is 199 centimeters. So we're extruding to 199 centimeters, and then I need to top off the doors right here. So the first thing I need to do is make it editable. So I'm highlighting the extrude and hit C, and that will make it an editable object. And then I'm going to go with the edges, and then I'm going to press let's see, M and then B for the bridge tool. Okay, so all I do is bring it across like that. Now I need to check to make sure the normals are correct. So I'm going to hit space, go back to the selection tool, and let's see, polygon mode should be blue. In this case right here, it's gold. But I need it on the reverse side because we're going to see everything from underneath here. So if I type this, that's blue, that's blue, that's blue. So we know that the normals are correct. All right, they're all the same. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit space again to switch back to the bridge tool. And then in edge mode, I'm just going to bridge just like that. Do all the doorways, the top of the doorways like this. Be careful to make sure that you're only highlighting the two edges that you want and that you're not accidentally doing any side ones. Keep it nice and clean. Just like that. And I think that does all of them. Okay. Now I wrote down with the laser finder, I measured the ceilings in each room, and it turns out they were all different. So for the living room, it was at 2.5 meters. So we're going to extrude the living room next first, and then we'll go ahead and go through all the other ones. So this is what I'm looking at right now. So I need to make my selections on the living room. So it's at edge, I'm in select, and I am just going to go in here. Now the thing is the doorways, and I'll show you why, I do not want to select yet. I'm just going to go through. Select the edges. Make sure it's not selecting edge like this right here, selecting two edges. I just want that one. And we may have to turn it. Unselect that one. Okay, I have everything in the living room selected except for the doorways, and I'll show you why. If I select the doorway here, and then I hit the extrude tool, let's see here, ME if I'm not T, and I type in the height of the ceiling in the living room was 2.5 meters, and right now it's sitting at 199. So we're talking 51 centimeters. So 51 centimeters, I'm going to write that in here, 51 centimeters. And I don't think I need to preserve groups, and I'm just going to hit apply. Now you'll notice that the doorway extruded like this. That's not what we wanted. So I'm going to hit Command Z and I'm going to deselect that. And now everything should extrude. So let's hit apply. And so now that's at 51. Perfect. Let's go through and let's do let's go ahead and do the rest. I'm going to speed this up, so I'm just going to go ahead and based on my information here on all the ceiling heights, I'm going to do all my ceilings in fast speed. Okay, we need to check the work real fast, make sure I've got everything. You'll notice that the pre-closet, the tops of the ceiling walls are highlighted, and on the Y it comes up at 254 centimeters, which is what I come up with. Actually, 254 centimeters equals 2.54 meters, which is correct. So I'm just going to really quickly go through and check all my measurements. All the measurements check out. So now I'm just going to go in and starting in the living room, I'm going to go above the doorways and I'm going to bridge everything. So it's a previous tool. All I have to do is go up here, hit bridge, and make sure that I am in edges. And I'm just going to close up this gap to the ceiling. So that will go to this. And let's just go ahead and do it through the closet. And I'll start right now, do everything in fast motion. So I forgot to clean up some points on the original path. So I need to get rid of these because I'm just trying to keep as little geometry as possible. So, I mean, the basic easiest way to do this is I'm just going to go here and I'm going to get rid of these. Just delete those. And what I'm going to do is just come up here a little bit and I'm just going to use the bridge tool. And I'm just going to go to edges and bridge that and basically do the same thing. So select these, delete, and with the bridge tool, what is that little unresting thing? I'm going to get rid of that. Go to edge. And then with the bridge tool, actually that went to the wrong area. There we go. So now I have a nice, let's see if that happened anywhere else. I think we're pretty clean. Okay, now what am I going to do? We're going to put in the ceiling. So I've got the bridge tool up, and I'll show you how I'm going to do the initial ceiling. And then from that, I'm actually going to go in and so let's do something small. I'm just going to do a ceiling on the pre-closet, pre-bedroom, pre-closet, whatever I want to call it. So basically, I'm just going to take this, just drag it across there, just like that. And leave this, we don't need that geometry in there. Now on the bedroom and some of the other rooms, we're going to run into a slight problem with that. This is one nice long continuous spline. Unfortunately, there's a spline, one spline here, but the opposites are multiple splines. And if you try to bridge those, it doesn't work out that well. I'll show you. So I'm just going to bring this across, and you see it only wants to go to one spline or the other. So this is what we're going to do. In this case, I am going to go back to my selection tool, go into polygon selection, and I am just going to, let's make it simple. This one right here is much easier. So I'm just going to select these three, and I'm going to delete them, and it leaves this, and I wasn't able to get rid of this. It's like a stranded spline. Now, hopefully when I optimize everything, it'll take care of that. But see, I can highlight it, but I can't select it for some reason. Let's see what happens if I do it like that. It won't work. But I can still bridge it. Let's see here, go back to the bridge tool, and make sure I select, edge selection, and run it across there. And now I should be able to bridge across this single to this single. And so I'm just going to go through fast forward and work on all of this and finish the rest basically. Okay, back, and one of the rooms is going to actually, the kitchen and the living room are going to be a little tricky. On the living room, let's do it this way. The top of the heater actually goes, the heater only goes up so far. So I might as well just take all this geometry, do a little cheat, go back to my selection tool, put it in polygon mode. I'm going to get rid of this, this, and get in there and swing on this side. And don't forget this little piece right there. And delete those. And then with the bridge tool, make sure I pick that up. Just run it. Make sure I got room. Go to edge mode. Grab that. Bridge it all the way across to this. And now I can back out, and I can actually just take the bridge tool and run it all the way across here. And then with this, I can just get in there. Actually, this will need to come in too. If I'm not mistaken, I'll have to look at the plans. So I'm not going to do anything with it right there. I'll just leave the hole. And now we need to worry about the kitchen. Okay, on the kitchen, it's a little bit of an odd shape. I'm trying to do everything with quads, but I think I figured out a way to do it with all quads except for one small triangle. So let me see if I can do that real fast. I got the polygon pen tool here, and I've got it in a point mode. So what I'm going to do with the point tool, I'm going to go over here, actually twist around so I can see a little bit better. And then I'm going to grab, make sure it's in edge mode, actually point mode, hold control and drag this across to right there like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this edge, same thing, this edge right here, hold control, and I'm going to bring it over here, let it snap into that point there, and then I'm going to go around, find the point, and drag it over to there. Next, let's see here. Okay, so I took this edge, held down control, dragged it so that it locked into this, then I grabbed that and brought it over to here, and then from there, and on this last one, I'm just going to hold control, grab this edge, and I'm going to bring it over and keep clicking it until it converts everything. So now I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, 1, 2, 3, 4 quad, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 4 quads in there. Let's go ahead and check the work. Let's get in here and make sure it didn't introduce any weird geometry or anything like that. Okay, I'll make it really wide. So it looks like my geometry is pretty good. Just make sure real fast. Looks like I got something a little odd there. Let's make sure. No, that's just looking through the other room. That's what I was seeing. Now, why did I go through all this trouble to set up the floor? The big reason that I did that is I found out that, let me go ahead and just hit O, is when I was doing the camera projection, I had just made a big ceiling and a big floor, just one object. But the problem is then I had to go in and I had to cut out each of the setups for rooms so that I could just highlight that particular polygon for that room and then do the texture camera mapping on that. So I thought, well, this time I'll just try it this way by making separate ceilings for everything. And I'm going to do the same thing with the floor. But this time I'm just going to do it in fast motion. All right, we have walls, we have ceilings, and we have floors. So now we're going to get into actually taking those spherical textures and projecting them through camera projection, camera mapping, onto the walls so that we can actually have textures. How are we going to do it spherically to what looks like nice flat surfaces? That's going to be handled over the next 2 tutorials. Stay tuned. And this is Perry, and I am no one you know for StoryToPixel.com.